Welcome to the esynergy podcast. My name's Paul Shiu, Delivery Director for esynergy. Today I'm joined by Mike Downing, Chief Information Officer at WPA Healthcare. We'll be exploring the adoption of AI and technology in organisations, and we'll look at some of the challenges, decisions and breakthroughs to help you in your work. So let's get to it. A very warm welcome to you today, Mike.
Thank you.
Great. For our audience, what does a Chief Information Officer do in a nutshell, and what does WPA Health Insurance do?
Yes, so I'm Mike Downing, CIO at WPA Health Insurance. We're a UK-based health insurer. We sell to personal lines, corporate and large corporate. We're a little bit different to the market in that we tend to build all of our own software. We do that to control costs, build the features that matter, differentiate our offering against the market.
Sure.
To enable that, we've got quite a large tech team. So I head up that tech team, responsible for all the things you'd imagine, such as business analysts, quality assurance, software development, security, data, AI, infrastructure, everything. So my journey there, so I started off as technical architect, moved into software development manager, CTO, and now CIO. And I'd say my role is about ensuring the entire team works together to produce, to deliver. Horizon scan, just seeing what's out there, seeing what's coming. Mentoring and coaching, I think that's where I fit.
Great. Okay. So with AI, what's driving your AI priorities?
Go back a few years. So we were early adopters. So I'd say around 2017, 2018, we built some AI systems. So at that time, it would have been machine learning models hung together with other systems. One of the early systems was a claim treatment and invoice handling system. That went live around 2017, and it's still in operation today. So that served the company well. 2018, we built out a back office system. Again, machine learning, bit of deep learning. We had a lot of data about what people had worked on in order to surface those models.
Right. Okay.
Come through to what's been happening in the last couple of years. So that back office automation system was starting to get a little tired, which was great because Gen AI arrived. We immediately jumped on the investigation, the exploration, and we identified agents as a way forward. Yep. So we rebuilt that back office automation system using agents. That went live, I'd say the early 2024, and we've built our capability month on month, so that now there's a lot of our back office processing, which could be identification, classification, data entry, and so forth. That's given us fresh skills. So we obviously had the knowledge, but that's a bit of a refresh. So more recently, we built out a co-pilot, an internal co-pilot. So our call center staff have a lot to remember every day. This co-pilot augments them, it supports them. It's not customer facing, but it helps our staff get the right answer at the right time.
Sure.
Moving on from there, we're very much looking internally on what we can use this sort of tech for. And a lot of the use cases that we're exploring at the moment are within our IT department.
Right.
So we got a code base, which some of it's 20-year-old, some of it's last week. So quite a large code base because we build our own insurance platforms.
Right.
So understanding that entire code base is difficult. So we've built out a system that is really helping. It can answer those questions for a business analyst, for a project manager. What does this part of the system do? It can answer those questions for a software dev. And taking it to the next level, it can start to work on our backlog.
That makes a lot of sense. So you mentioned quite a few things there. So agents, a bit of automation, some ML. What would you say are the successes within the AI realm within your organization? Yeah,
I'd say everything we've tried to do has been a success. I think everything is delivered on its promise so far. You know, we got a roadmap for the next sort of period. Some things have taken longer than we expected. So it sounds so simple to do this, to build this. And I think the thing that has taken the most time is friction with complex manual processes. So if you take a manual process that has many steps, moving AI into that doesn't fix that manual process.
Sure.
It can complement, it can augment, but it's far better, I think, to stand back, refresh that process so that it fits with an AI approach.
Okay. And what would you say surprised you the most with your AI rollout within WPA Healthcare?
I think because we've got the history, people accept it. People have seen the old systems sort of go into the background. It's normal. So bringing these new systems to market, people accept them. People very much make use of them. They don't fear for their role or anything like that. We very much are about automating the repetitive.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So it'll free people up just to work on much more valuable, much more interesting work. So I'd say acceptance is very good. If we look at consumer AI, as opposed to AI that we build ourselves, that's been a bit slower, but we're very much getting traction now on certain use cases across the business.
Sure.
They tend to be strategic help rather than repetitive roles and things like that. So I think our remit is target consumer AI where it fits, build where it doesn't.
Yeah. Okay. And you touched a little bit on legacy systems, and insurance is a typical kind of industry with lots of legacy systems. Do you find that to be a blocker for AI, or do you find it's actually manageable?
It's been interesting. We've got our systems, if you think of them as grandfather, father, son, all sharing the same database. So 20-year-old, roughly 12-year-old, and 6 years or younger.
Right.
So it's a bit of a legacy, bit of not the best code in there, not the best data structures, but by tackling the back office automation, that was already in a good format with the ML solutions. So that sort of landed. I think we found that the Gen AI approach, the agent approach, is quite forgiving on some of the data. So that has supported us. Moving on to other things we're looking at, we're very much building out a agentic orchestration framework.
Right. Okay.
Which will allow us to run agents across our domain at the right point to have an impact. And what I mean by that is if data's in a format that doesn't quite work, we can transform that data. We can use APIs. We can service that data up to the agentic layer.
Yeah. As
we work on our system, because we've got definite plans to modernize the whole system. One of the key things that we're looking at is our agentic orchestration layer needs to work with the current and the future. So I think it's about levels of abstraction. If you go directly to the underlying data that's a little bit legacy, you will struggle. So just transform it to something that works better.
Yeah, and it's a great segue. So data was something I was going to ask about. A lot of our clients talk about data. It's the obvious prerequisite to kind of any AI work, really. What would you say the biggest challenges for you, or the biggest data challenges for you for AI?
I think it's having the imagination. So even if a data set isn't quite perfect, as I said, Gen AI, the agent's approach is a little bit more forgiving. So see what you can do with that data set to make it work. That also gives you a good pointer for the future.
Yeah,
that's because that's a data set that will work now. You work on that data set, you modernize that area of the system, and it'll just improve in time.
Sure. Okay, that's good. Being in a heavily regulated industry, AI governance is obviously a big topic. So what's your approach to AI governance?
I see it as multi-level. So obviously compliance, legal, we need to satisfy all those requirements. On an operational level, we track everything that our systems do. So every interaction, every decision is tracked.
Right.
All of that goes into a central log. We have agents that look at those logs and alert for drift or errors and things like that.
So more exception reporting, it's kind of.
Yeah, it's so if you take the example of a back office automation, if something changes and the automation rate is falling,
Right.
we might get alerted, and
Yeah.
then
So
and then somebody can go in and have a
Okay.
look and
Okay.
adjust.
Yeah.
So that's on the sort of operational and internal. We are very minded of what's happening in the industry. So obviously, a lot of this is run by TechGiant AI. Because of our ethos of building, we are very wary of getting locked in to a point where we are reliant on somebody else's AI,
Of course. Yeah.
reliant on the charges, the costs of someone else's AI. So we are very much looking to build our own. So we're building internally our own small language models. So these are dedicated to certain tasks as opposed to general purpose. What this gives us is control of our destiny. We also know how those models were built.
Yeah.
We know how the frameworks were built. And I can see the regulator exploring this in the future. If somebody buys an off-the-shelf system using a large TechGiant's AI, and they don't really know how it works, you've lost your explainability. Whereas I think what we're doing by having it in-house under our control, it gives us that sort of self-reliance. We need to look after it, but also we know what it does and we know the limitations and so forth.
Yeah.
I'm starting to see this across the industry. I'm starting to see other companies explore building their own,
Yeah.
or perhaps looking at open source and building around that. So it's definitely a move in the industry towards this.
That's some great insight there. Thanks, Mike. Yeah, I guess one of the things with AI is around learnings, of course. So are there any, not necessarily failed projects, but any learnings that you could have taken maybe from a failed project, but other things that you've tried within the AI realm?
I think optimism is one. So as I mentioned earlier, if you do your proof of concept, it works on my laptop really quickly. It's solved the problem. But then actually bringing that into the wider complex manual processes.
Yeah.
I think there needs to be a level of realism on that about bringing these things to market, or redesign all of your processes, which again takes time.
Sure.
I think on the other sort of view on that would be these technologies keep changing and rapidly. So I think we're in a world now where what you learn today may well be obsolete in 3 months. Because a new approach and a new technology, a new way of doing it may well have come to market. So I think it's the acceptance of building your systems for now. They're not going to last 10 years.
No.
But architect them, build them in such a way that you can slot in new capability, new models, new ways of working.
Yeah. One of the key conversations we continually have with multiple clients, actually, when we talk about AI and the work we might do to help them, is how can organizations measure AI? So what's the success measures almost that you would use? So do you have any measures or metrics that you use at the moment to help you measure?
Yeah, and we've always tracked time spent on tasks, time spent on work. So we know the impact of automated processes where they are saving hours, minutes
Sure.
across our estate.
Mm-hmm.
By bringing in our more recent back office system, by bringing in other systems, we can measure the impact of them. And what we've seen is people freed up, people no longer having to do task X, so they move to task Y.
Mm-hmm.
And we can see that in our statistics, which is great.
Great.
We've also seen this on software delivery, on software insight, on impact on projects.
Mm-hmm.
Things are speeding up in that way. Because we're a not-for-profit, we don't tend to look at the ROI on that project versus delivery, but it's more about, are we doing the right thing? Are we improving what we do? WPA Health Insurance is all about customer service. It's all about that customer journey. So are we doing the right thing for the customers?
Okay. And is that more having a baseline that you can measure against and then seeing if there's improvement rather than a set of metrics per se?
The metrics are company-wide, how much work goes through, and there's an automation
of course.
sort of swim lane in that. But yeah, it's some of it's measurable, some of it is anecdotal. When an engineer says, "I did that really quick. It used to take this long."
Yeah.
That's really good.
Another big topic in AI is how organizations can bring their kind of workforce and also within ways of working to incorporate AI. So is there anything you've done in your organization to try and embed that almost into the culture and the ways of working?
Yeah, I think people are always slow to change. I think people are always slow to change. So when these tools came to market, of course, some people, myself included, very much looked at everything on the market, saw the opportunities, tried to use them. They matured a lot. We're a couple of years in now. So what was failing back then or wasn't quite perfect is now getting there. And I think people initially tried things, didn't quite work. So they sort of reverted to their norms, which is human nature.
Yeah.
What we've seen more recently, though, is as the models, as the tools, as the consumer tools are getting more capable, there's almost a pivot now towards using these tools more and more.
Yeah.
People are using them as their so consumer tools, using that as like their PhD intern to run ideas against. I see a lot of people using deep research just to check that theory, do some scenario testing. And our software development team and data team, AI team, they've embraced the software development tools. Now, again, we don't want to buy everything. We've seen how the costs rise.
Yeah.
What is free becomes $20 a month, becomes $200 a month.
Yeah.
So as part of our development with our small language models, we've actually built out our own software development capability in-house. And it's been brilliant to see the entire tech team getting behind that to build a solution that will analyze code, will change code, will make recommendations, and also benchmark itself. Are the changes, is there drift in those answers? Are they becoming less accurate?
Okay. Are there any AI applications within health insurance that you're particularly excited about?
Yeah, so I think we're early days on this journey. We're what, two years into this being a real prospect for insurance, for automation, and so on. I think over the next couple of years, this technology is going to evolve to the point where we will see agents or whatever they'll be by then running entire operating models for different businesses. This could be checking everything. This could be running scenarios. This could be bringing together knowledge from the entire organization in order to make those right decisions. So I think we're at the start of a major change in that area.
Yeah.
I think looking wider, I think there's the opportunities for society. So this could be everybody. This is from children right the way through to adults, continuous learning. having their AI coach, their learning coach, which will have those curriculums ready, have those questions, those experiences for people to continually learn and challenge themselves. And that could be in technology, it could be learning a language, it could be whatever. I think we are ready to build things like this, which sort of takes me on to the next thing. We know AI today has medical capability. It has medical knowledge.
Yeah.
I think in the future we will see this becoming used across the world. So just think of those countries that don't have access to medical information. Sure. You bring together unlimited knowledge with visual capability, sound capability. We could have that doctor in a pocket that I think we've all, as a society, dreamed of in the next couple of years.
Wow, that's very powerful, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess sort of flip side to that then would be, are there sort of any areas that you don't feel we should be using AI for?
Yeah. Especially within health insurance, empathy matters. It's great to automate repetitive things. It's great to automate the back office. But when that customer calls with a condition that they want to speak to a human,
sure,
you really need a human at the front end.
Of course.
Yeah. So our plan is not to offer up human to AI interactions. It will always be human to human. That fits with our customer service sort of ethos. And I think that really matters at certain parts in people's journey with us, people's experience with us, is being able to talk to the human when you need to talk to the human. If you want to do self-serve, well, we got facilities for that. But I think that's where in health insurance it matters, and it probably matters in other areas as well, where that human interaction is very important.
Yeah, it's a really important point. Yeah, thanks, Mike. Are there any skills that you would say in particular that you're looking for to kind of, when you bring people in, specifically to kind of embed into that sort of AI area?
We've got a decent sized team. So I think we've got all the skills or capabilities or experiences that we need in-house.
Okay.
It's about imagination. It's about drive to learn more, to just do a bit of hands-on testing,
Sure.
do that experiment. We run hackathons. The hackathons are very interesting when people are given the opportunity to just try it out as a team.
Right.
And I think that internal knowledge, that internal skill level is just rising.
Brilliant.
So as going to market to bring in a lot of AI people, I don't think we need them.
Sure. Well, thank you very much for your time today, Mike. I really appreciate you coming in. It's been great to look at your journey, your insights, and hopefully it will help a lot of people listening into how they can start their AI journey. We do like to end each episode in a kind of common way, really, which is one simple but powerful question. So if there was one kind of bit of advice every kind of business leader like you wish they could know earlier on or understood, what would you kind of say to them?
I'd say start. If you're waiting for AI to become perfect, well, the AI we have at the moment is the worst we'll see.
Sure.
So start learning now. Start experimenting now. But don't look at AI as a toy or a POC. Just look at the entire organization. Where's the problems? Where can you bring value? Where can you improve outcomes? Look at your processes. Look at bottlenecks, and then see where AI can help to change your operating model.
Yeah.
Which will, at the end of the day, impact your success.
It's great advice. Thank you very much, Mike.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.